before we have to actually use them the next couple of days and their rules, okay? So today there's not going to be any numbers that you deal with. You're not going to add anything. You're not going to subtract anything. You're going to be looking at definitions, and you're going to be looking at different vocab words and being able to pick them out, okay? All right, some of these lines you can already, or blanks you can already fill in. When two lines intersect in a plane and form right angles, they are called, what type of lines? You're right, they're 90 degrees. No. Two lines that cross and make perfect 90 degrees. Perpendicular, perpendicular. P-E-R-P-E-N-D-I-C-U-L-A-R. Perpendicular. They're the lines that form that corner there. Two lines are called blank lines when they're in the same plane and they do not intersect. Tone? Liana? Parallel. P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L. Perpendicular is 90 degrees. Parallel, they never cross one another. Acute or angle is less than 90. Obtuse is more than 90. Yep. Okay. We're going to only fill out one of these with supplementary angles. S-U-P-P-L-E-M-E-N-T-A-R-Y. Supplementary angles are two angles whose sum of their measure is 180. 180. They're the angles that make two angles, angle 1 and angle 2, that are next to one another, and they create that straight line. That's supplementary. All right, here's some new words that you may have not seen before. You may have never seen organization either. Vertical angles, V-E-R-T-I-C-A-L. Vertical angles are formed by the intersection of two lines. So if you draw two lines right here, here's line 1, here's line 2. When those two lines cross, you see four angles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Vertical angles are always equal. Okay, in that diagram that Ms. Hoff drew, I would make sure you draw that because we're going to look at it here. Vertical angles have to share the same hinge point, like the same vertex, but they are opposite. They're completely on the other side from one another. So if I look at that diagram with 1, 2, 3, and 4, can anybody tell me two angles that share the same vertex or point, but they are opposite of one another? 2 and 4, very good, Tone. And 1 and 3. Okay, 2 and 4 share that same middle point, center point, but then they're on opposite sides of one another. Those are called vertical angles. Okay, we're going to skip this line. Interior angles lie inside the lines. Exterior angles are outside the lines. So if we go down and look at the diagram at the bottom of your page, okay? Everybody go down and look at the diagram at the bottom of the page. We have line L that slashes through I and K and forms 8 angles that are numbered there, okay? I and K are the ones we're looking at. Interior angles have to be inside the lines. So what number angles are interior in this diagram, Tone?
4, 3, 5, and 6.
Very good. 4, 3, 5, and 6. Exterior angles happen outside. So what angles are exterior, Liana?
1, 2, 8.
Very good. 1, 2, 8, and 7. Okay. I'm also going to go write those same numbers up by our word interior and exterior. Next to the word interior angles, put 3, 4, 5, and 6. And exterior, put 1, 2, 7, and 8. So that you don't forget that. Yep. In and out. Okay. All right. Now we have 3 new types of angles. Okay. Everybody good if I scroll up for a second here? We're going to come back and forth to this diagram. Whoops. 3, 4, 5, 6. No. 1, 2, 7, 8. I just went back above that picture. Okay. Long 3 words here. Ready? The first blank. Alternate. Interior angles. Alternate interior angles. Our interior angles, so they're inside, they're on opposite sides of that transversal, and they are not next to one another. When the lines are parallel, their measures are equal. Miss Hoff calls these the Z angles, because when you trace them, they will form a Z. Now, that Z might be really tight together, it might be really stretched out, it might be forward, it might be backwards, it might be tipped on its side, it might be upside down and backwards, okay? But when you trace them, it's going to form a Z. So go down to our diagram, okay? They have to be interior. Somebody pick one of the numbers that are interior. 4, okay? Angle 4. Now, I need another interior angle that's on the opposite side of this. Don't shout things. Don't listen to everything I'm going to tell you. I need another interior angle that's on the opposite side of this transversal that is not next to number 4. 6. And look what happens when I trace it. Do you see the Z? It's really stretched out. Okay. Let's go write that down on our list up above. 4 and 6. Sorry. Alternate interior angles, 4 and 6. If I erase this, if I chose angle 3 and 5, you see the Z that's backwards? Okay, so 3 and 5 are also alternate interior angles. Now, I'm going to do a whole bunch of highlighting on that bottom one, and then erase it, and then highlight and erase it. So you don't have to necessarily trace my highlighting down here. You have to copy that because you'll have a whole bunch of stuff written down there. Okay, alternate, making sure they're on opposite sides. Okay, here's our next type of angles. Alternate exterior angles. Our exterior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal, they cannot be next to one another. When the lines are parallel, their measures are equal. What's the only word that changed in these? Exterior. The definition is identical other than the word exterior. Now, Miss Hoff doesn't have a really cool letter to pick with this one. The last one had a Z. This one's not a really cool letter. Okay? I'm going to go down to my diagram. Tone helped us on the last one, so I'm going to ask him to be on mute for just a little bit, okay? So I'm going to pick the exterior angle, angle 1. Okay? It's on the outside. And I need to pick another angle. Don't shout until I say everything. That's on the other side of this slash, but not next to angle 1. We can't pick my interiors. So what angle is on the opposite side of this line, but not next to angle 1? 7. Very good. They don't make a cool letter, though, do they? They're just really far apart from one another. Okay? And angle 2 is an exterior. What's an angle that's completely opposite of angle 2? Angle 8. Very good. Okay, so go back up to your alternate exterior angles. We said 1 and 7. Whoops. 2 and 8. 1 and 7. 2 and 8. That's totally fine. Yep. More so that you know what it means. If you know what it means, then you're totally good. Okay. All right, last one. Corresponding. Corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are angles that are in the same position on the two lines in relation to the transversal. When the lines are parallel, their measure is equal. These are completely different than your alternate interior and alternate exterior. But Ms. Hoff calls these the F angles. Your F can be normal looking, it could be on its back, it could be on its front, it could be upside down, it could be backwards, but when we trace them, it should form an F. Okay? All right. Tegan, pick a number between 1 and 8. 4. Okay, so Ms. Hoff is going to highlight angle 4. If we look at angle 4 is below line I. Everybody see that? And to the left of line L. Below and to the left. If I look at line K, don't shout it, just think. What angle is below K and to the left of the transversal? 8. If I trace 8, do you see the F? Okay? These corresponding angles are like if you slide the lines over top of one another, they would overlap. Okay, so let's write that. This one's going to have a lot of options here. 4 and 8. Shh, hold on. If you see it, that's fantastic, but not everybody else will. Okay? I'm going to go and highlight angle 2. Nobody say it out loud. But we look where angle 2 is. You should say, okay, angle 2 is above I and to the right of L. Above and to the right. Above and to the right. Down here, which angle is above and to the right? 6. If Miss Hoff traces 6, do you see your upside down F? Okay, so 2 and 6. If I trace 7, 7 is below and to the right. Below and to the right. So we go up to line I. Below and to the right. See it again? 3. 3 and 7. And there's one more. Tone? One and 5. Okay, so all of those will make an F. So today we're going to focus on supplementary, alternate interior, alternate exterior, corresponding. All right, flip it to the back side. Okay, Ms. Hoff is going to leave the definitions up here so that you can look at it. Okay, you guys are going to go through this. We're going to do it as a class. Okay, it says classify each pair of angles as alternate interior, alternate exterior, or corresponding. Nobody's going to shout an answer. Okay, so if we go to the diagram and Miss Hoff traces angle 1 and angle 8, don't say the answer out loud. You write down for me, are those two angles alternate interior, alternate exterior, or corresponding? Don't shout it. Go back and look. Alternate interior, alternate exterior, or corresponding. The numbers are not going to match. The numbers are not going to match. You're looking at the diagram. Which of those angles ended up when we trace them to be two angles like 1 and 8? Petro, what'd you write? Yeah, what'd you write on that one?
Alternate exterior.
He wrote alternate exterior. Does anybody else agree with him?
Yes.
Yeah, nicely done. Remember those alternate exterior are like as far apart as we can get. They don't make any fancy letter. Nicely done, sir. Okay. Here's your next one. I'll trace the next one for you. 5 and 7. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Alternate interior, alternate exterior, or corresponding. Tone slipped up on that one. What'd you say, Tone? Corresponding. Do you guys agree with him?
Yes.
Corresponding makes that F. Okay. All right. Don't say it out loud. I'll highlight the next one for you. 3 and 6. 3 and 6. Miss Young-Kong, what did you write for number 3, for 3 and 6? She wrote alternate interior. What are your guys' thoughts?
I agree.
Nicely done. Has that Z. Has that Z. Might have to tip our head like this to see it, but it has a Z, right? Good job. Okay, here's your next one. 2, don't say it out loud. 2, whoopsies. 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Jack, what'd you write? He wrote corresponding. What are your guys' thoughts?
Agreed.
Agreed. Nicely done. Corresponding. Okay. Your next one is
2 and 7.
2 and 7. Hey, let's try it without Miss Hoff highlighting it once. See if you can do 2 and 7. 2 and 7. Caitlin, 2 and 7. What do you think? She says alternate interior. Thoughts? Nicely done. Good work. Alternate interior. 2 and 7. 2 and 7. And then there's one more, right? 4 and 5. I'm not going to highlight it. You try it on your own. 4 and 5. You got this one? Let everybody have a second to think. You guys might be ahead of some of them. Liana, what'd you write? She said 4 and 5 are alternate exterior. What do you guys think? Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay. We're going to add something to this because Miss Hoff forgot. Supplementary. Remember, supplementary are angles that add together to be 180 degrees. They are right next to one another, and they form a line. 1 and 2 would be correct. Okay, Tone, no more. Somebody else. 7 and 8. Zayden's out. Petro, was that not a hand raise? That was a yawn. Liana. 5 and 6. Liana's out. Tegan. 3 and 4. Tegan's out. There's more. Petro. We already got 1 and 2. Already got that. Already got that. Already got that. Nope. What else? What other two angles could form a line? Bryce? Nope. Two and what? Very good. 2 and 6. 3 and 7. 4 and 8. 1 and 5. So yes, it works this way, but you can also make 180 this way. See that? Then there was one other type of angles that we talked about called vertical angles. Put this someplace on your list. I want to put it so I can put it by my drawing so that I don't have to scroll and make you guys motion sick. Okay, if you've answered for me, don't shout anything. Okay? Vertical angles. What are you talking about? Supplementary. 1 and 2, 7 and 8, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, 3 and 7. Okay? Vertical angles have the same hinge point, but they are opposite. They're across from one another. By the raise of your hand, can anybody give me a set of vertical angles? Marilyn, what do you think? 3 and 8, yes. Petro. Oh, geez, he just stole all of them. 1 and 6 and 2 and 5 and 4 and 7. I'm sorry, Bryce. I was going to call on you next, and Petro stole all your answers. Rude. Okay, here's the deal. On Alex, they're going to give you a diagram, and they're going to say, tell me a set of alternate interior, tell me a set of alternate exterior, tell me a set of corresponding. You get to pick the numbers this time. You're not going to have any work to show me, but if you want paper to draw your own diagram to trace all on, totally fine. When you are done, find something else to work on.